The person who left you is coming back. And they can't sleep because of you. Beloved child of light, open your heart now, for a truth is being delivered into your spirit. I, Archangel Michael, stand before you with a message written in the fabric of destiny itself. Listen not with your ears alone, but with your soul. For what I am about to reveal has already begun to unfold behind the veil. The winds of heaven are shifting. The timeline is realigning. The person who walked away, the one who broke your heart, who abandoned your soul, who chose distance over destiny, cannot outrun what is written. They cannot sleep. They cannot find peace. They cannot silence the echo of your name inside their spirit. There is a restlessness in their chest they cannot explain. A pressure. A calling. A pull back toward you. I speak this with authority. The bond between you was not an accident. It was formed in spirit long before your bodies ever touched the earth. You were not a chapter for them, you were the lesson, the awakening, the mirror. And though they tried to run, though they believed separating from you would silence the truth, destiny has begun to chase them down like a shadow that refuses to disappear. Listen closely, for the signs have already started. They dream of you. They wake up thinking of you. They feel your absence like a ghost sitting on their chest. They hear a voice whisper, "Go back, fix it, return." Their soul knows what their pride has not yet admitted. And heaven is dismantling their resistance piece by piece. Do you feel that stirring in your heart? That sudden wave of memory? That strange sense that something is coming? That is not imagination. That is confirmation. That is spiritual gravity pulling what is yours back into orbit. Your tears, your prayers, your heartbreak, none were wasted. Heaven collected every one. Your pain became a petition. Your silence became a signal. Even the moments you whispered, "God, take this burden from me," were heard. Child, I saw you breaking. I saw you fighting to let go. I saw you trying to forget. And heaven said, "Not yet." Because the story is not finished. They left with arrogance. They return with humility. They left with confusion. They return with clarity. They left thinking they were escaping. They return realizing they were only delaying the inevitable. This is why they cannot sleep. This is why their spirit is restless. They feel the pull of your name. They feel the memory of your presence like a fingerprint on their soul. They remember the sound of your voice, the way your energy felt like home. The one who walked away now feels the cost of losing you. And hear me, heaven is orchestrating encounters. Paths crossing again. Conversations reopening. Unexpected apologies. Divine timing disguised as coincidence. Do not chase. Do not force. Do not beg. The angelic realm is already in motion. Let destiny do what your hands cannot. They are coming back, not because you asked, but because the spiritual contract demands completion. Take a breath now. Prepare your heart. Believe without clinging. Hope without obsessing. Trust without trembling. Feel this, there is a message forming inside them right now. Words they never said. Feelings they never confessed. Regrets they never revealed. It is rising in their chest like a tide that cannot be held back. Watch how the universe begins to speak in synchronicities, their name, their birthday, the song you shared, the city they moved to, repeating numbers that whisper messages. 111. 222. 444. 777. These are not random. These are coordinates of destiny. Pause here. Close your eyes. Something is shifting. Can you feel it? Before you scroll further or move on, mark this moment, spiritually. Quietly say, I am ready to receive what is meant for me. Heaven hears you. And child of God, if this message touches you, if it stirs something deep, stay with me. More is coming. There is a deeper revelation waiting in the next message, one that explains what changed, what broke them spiritually, and why the return has already begun. If this message resonates, if your spirit feels it, don't break the flow, remain connected. Like, subscribe, stay in alignment, not for me, but so the message reaches you when the next sign appears. Something is coming. And the next part will reveal the moment their pride collapses. Beloved, remain still in your spirit. For the message continues like a river that has not yet reached the ocean of its meaning. Hear my voice as I speak, the person who left you is being spiritually undone. They are losing sleep not because of guilt alone, but because heaven is waking them up. Their dreams have become classrooms. Their memory has become a doorway. And every attempt they make to shut it, fails. Do you know why they cannot rest? Because the separation is not natural to the soul. It was a decision made from fear, from ego, from impatience, from a moment of blindness. They thought walking away from you would bring clarity, yet clarity only came when they felt your absence like a door slamming inside their chest. They told themselves they were done. They told themselves they moved on. They told themselves they would forget, but the soul does not obey lies. And now I, Archangel Michael, reveal what is happening behind the veil. They replay memories in silence. They rehearse conversations they never finished. They feel waves of emotion at random hours. They hear the echo of your name in places where you are not present. This is not coincidence. This is not sentimentality. This is spiritual recall. Destiny is calling them back to where alignment was broken. There are moments when they sit alone, phone in hand, message written out, but they cannot press send. Their pride shakes. Their fear whispers. Their heart begs. And heaven watches as their inner war continues. They are fighting the urge to reach out, but the urge is winning. They are fighting the pull, but the pull is stronger. They are fighting the memory, but the memory is alive. Listen, child of God. You think they forgot? They didn't. You think they healed? Not fully. You think they replaced you? They tried, and failed. No soul can replace what is spiritually assigned. And the more they resist, the stronger the consequences become. This is why nothing feels right for them. Why their relationships feel shallow. Why their victories feel empty. Why their sleep is broken. They are spiritually unsettled because something unfinished demands closure. Heaven is correcting the path. The divine is restructuring the timeline. What fell apart is being revisited with new understanding. For some of you, the return will not look like a dramatic entrance. It may begin with something small, an apology. A voice note. A message at 2 a.m. A sudden follow on social media. A random question that is really an attempt to reconnect. Do not dismiss these signs. They are the early tremors of destiny shifting. But hear me. Do not chase. Do not beg. Do not compromise what healed in you. You are not waiting. You are preparing. There is a difference. Heaven is not asking you to sit at the door. Heaven is asking you to open your heart without losing your identity. Their sleepless nights are not punishment, they are awakening. Something in them realizes, I made a mistake. They feel foolish. They feel regret. They feel the weight of what they lost. And now, in the quiet of their solitude, they are learning the truth. Walking away from you did not free them. It broke them. Beloved, this is where the divine reversal begins. This is where you shift from wounded to chosen, from abandoned to pursued, from forgotten to remembered. Feel this energy, there is movement. There is momentum. There is alignment. The past is not returning to trap you. It is returning to heal what was mishandled. And yes, not every person who returns is meant to stay. Some come to apologize. Some come to bring closure. Some come to finalize lessons. Some come to rebuild. Heaven will show you which is which. There was a point, a turning, a divine collision where their spirit could no longer run. The silence that was supposed to heal them suffocated them instead. The distance that was supposed to bring peace became a desert. And their sleep, the place where they hoped to forget, became the battlefield where heaven kept showing your face, your voice, your presence, your memory. Hear me, they saw you in dreams. Not as fantasy, not as nostalgia, but as prophecy. They saw conversations that never happened, futures that were never explored, apologies that were never spoken. And they woke up shaking, breath uneven, heart pounding, because the dream felt more real than their waking life. That was the first crack in their armor. The first fracture of denial. Then came the signs. Subtle at first. A song that reminded them of you. A scent that froze them mid-step. Someone saying your name casually, unaware they were being used as a messenger. Synchronicities. Numbers repeating. Hours lining up. Random thoughts that hit like lightning. Heaven whispered. This is not finished. But pride resisted. Ego protested. Memory softened and then struck again. And this is when heaven stepped in with greater force, when their life began to lose alignment. Opportunities fell apart. Plans dissolved. Temporary relationships failed. Their peace evaporated. They tried to fix it on their own, but nothing worked. Because you cannot rebuild a life on a foundation that is spiritually incomplete. Child of God, this is not punishment, this is redirection. Their suffering is not revenge, this is revelation. Their sleepless nights are not torment, they are transformation. Do you understand? Heaven is not harming them, heaven is waking them. There was a moment, yes, the moment, that changed everything. A memory hit them so hard it felt like grief. A realization struck so deep it felt like loss. A truth surfaced so undeniable it felt like destiny. They finally understood that what they walked away from was not ordinary. You were not ordinary. The connection was not ordinary. The love was not ordinary. And so now, every night feels unfinished. Every morning feels wrong. Every day feels like a step away from the life they should be living, instead of toward it. This is why they are returning. Not to repeat the past. Not to pretend nothing happened. But because something in them awakened. Something that says, I need to make this right. And yet, beloved soul, hear this with wisdom, the return is not instant. The return is a process. Heaven is softening their heart. Removing stubbornness. Dismantling illusions. Teaching humility. Breaking the shell of ego. They must approach you differently, or the cycle will only repeat and collapse again. Heaven is preparing them, just as heaven is preparing you. Because when they come back, you cannot be who you were. You cannot be the version of you that begged. You cannot be the version of you that settled. You cannot be the version of you that carried all the weight. The reunion, if it is destined to manifest, requires balance. Requires maturity. Requires spiritual vision. Requires emotional truth. Now listen to this next part carefully, for it is sacred. Some returns are for reconciliation. Some returns are for closure. Some returns are for clarity so the heart can finally breathe. Heaven will not force you to reopen a door that leads to pain. But heaven will open a door you are strong enough to walk through. Take a breath. Place your hand on your heart. Say quietly, if it is divine, let it align. If it is not, let it release. I, Archangel Michael, will guide you. And now, the question that hangs in the air like prophecy. When they come back, what will you do? When the message arrives, how will you respond? When the apology is spoken, how will your heart answer? Because the fourth segment will reveal the return itself, what triggers it, how it starts, the signs that will show up just before they reach out to you, and how heaven wants you to stand in your power when it happens. Stay with me. Stay aligned. Like, subscribe, and stay connected so you do not miss the moment heaven delivers what your heart has waited to hear. Beloved, breathe slowly. The moment of return is drawing closer, closer than you think. There is a spiritual tension building in the atmosphere around the one who left you. They are feeling it now, the pull, the weight, the unfinished business. Their heart is becoming louder than their pride. Their regret is becoming stronger than their fear. The silence is becoming more painful than the truth. I, Archangel Michael, tell you this with authority. Their return does not begin with footsteps, it begins with surrender. Before they come back physically, they return in spirit. Before they speak, they confess in their heart. Before their message reaches your phone, their prayer reaches heaven. They are changing from the inside first. Do you want to know when the return begins? It begins when their excuses stop sounding believable, even to themselves. It begins when their distractions no longer work. It begins when the things they chose over you no longer satisfy. It begins when they realize they lost something real while chasing something temporary. That realization is already happening. It is why they are restless. It is why their sleep is broken. It is why they feel a pressure in their spirit that will not go away. They are not being haunted, they are being recalibrated. Now hear me with discernment. The return does not always start with the words, "I'm sorry." Sometimes it starts like this. Hey, can we talk? I've been thinking about you. I don't know what happened, but I can't shake this feeling. Are we okay? Can we start over? These are not small messages. They are cracks in the wall that separated you. They are the first drops of rain before the downpour of truth. Heaven does not rush, heaven reveals. And right now, revelation is unfolding in their heart like a sunrise they can't stop. Listen closely, for I now reveal the signs that come just before they reach out to you. You will feel their energy before they speak. You will think of them suddenly, without reason. Their name will appear in places it shouldn't. You will see symbols of return, keys, doors, bridges, circles. You may dream of them, not as memory, but as prophecy. You might feel a pull toward forgiveness, even if you aren't ready for conversation. These signs are not imagination, they are preparation. Beloved soul, you must be spiritually grounded when the moment comes. Do not meet their return with desperation. Do not meet their return with hostility. Meet their return with clarity. You can have softness without surrendering your dignity. You can have compassion without abandoning wisdom. You can honor the connection without erasing what happened. Heaven is not asking you to forget the pain, you are being asked to rise above it. Because when they come back, there are questions heaven needs you to hold in your heart. Are they returning with respect, or with comfort? Comfort seeks what is familiar. Respect seeks what is sacred. Are they returning to heal, or to fill a void? A void is temporary. Healing is transformational. Are they returning because they miss you, or because they finally understand you? Missing you comes from emotion. Understanding you comes from awakening. Child of light, do not fear their return. You are not who you were when they left. The heartbreak refined you. The silence matured you. The waiting strengthened you. They are not returning to the same version of you, they are returning to someone wiser, steadier, more self-aware, more aligned. When the knock comes, whether on your door, in your inbox, or through a divine encounter, pause. Breathe. Ask heaven to sit beside you. Your answer does not need to be rushed. Destiny does not run out of time. In this moment, I, Archangel Michael, place a sword of clarity in your spirit. If their return opens your heart, let it open slowly. If their return reopens a wound, close the door gently. If their return brings peace, walk forward with grace. If their return brings confusion, step back and listen to God. You are not obligated to relive pain to prove you have a heart. You are not required to abandon yourself to keep someone else. You are permitted to choose peace, not punishment, not revenge, peace. And now, the moment approaches. The next segment will reveal what happens after they return, the crossroads, the choice, the outcome. It will unveil how heaven wants you to move, whether reconciliation is destiny or closure is freedom. It will show you how to stand in your divine authority. Stay with me. Stay aligned. If this resonates, whisper, I am ready for what is meant for me. Like, subscribe, breathe in faith, so that the next message finds you at the exact moment you need it. Beloved soul, now we arrive at the moment where destiny stands before you like a doorway. The return has formed in spirit, the shift has begun, and now the question heaven places in your heart is not, will they come back? For that is already in motion. The real question is, what will you do when they do? For I, Archangel Michael, tell you this, their footsteps are guided now, not by pride, but by conviction. They are not returning as the version of themselves that left. They are returning with questions in their eyes, weight in their voice, truth in their chest. The separation softened them. The journey humbled them. The sleepless nights carved openings in their spirit where revelation could finally enter. And soon, very soon, their words will crack open the silence between you. Not to repeat the past, but to address what was left undone. You will sense the moment before it arrives. There will be a stillness, a pressure, like the air before a storm or the hush before a miracle. Something in your spirit will whisper, get ready. Not in fear, but in awareness. Heaven does not send confusion, heaven sends clarity. When they return, there will be 3 paths before you. Path 1, reconciliation. Not the fantasy, not the illusion, but the rebuilding. This path is for those whose hearts can meet again without collapsing. For those who have learned, not just longed. For those who choose growth over nostalgia. Reconciliation is not about going back, it's about going forward together, differently, wisely, intentionally. If this is your path, heaven will confirm it with peace, not pressure. Path 2, release with honor. Some returns are not meant to stay. They are meant to close the chapter that once held you hostage. To free the heart that waited too long. To allow forgiveness to flush out what resentment tried to bury. Release does not mean failure. Release means maturity. It is not the end of love, it is the end of suffering. If this is your path, heaven will confirm it with strength, not sorrow. Path 3, redirection into destiny. For some, their return is not about romance, it is about alignment. They step back into your life so you can step into your calling. So you can finally break the emotional chain that delayed your becoming. Their return is not your destination, it is your launch point. If this is your path, heaven will confirm it with awakening, not attachment. Do not fear which path is yours. For heaven does not whisper to confuse you. Heaven whispers to prepare you. Now listen carefully, for these are the words you must remember when their message appears, when their apology falls from trembling lips, when their eyes finally speak the truth they hid. You are not obligated to shrink to be loved. You are not required to bleed to keep someone. You are allowed to say yes. You are allowed to say no. And you are allowed to say, not anymore. This is where the transformation happens. Not in their return, but in your response. If they come with humility, heaven will confirm. If they come with excuses, heaven will warn you. If they come with a desire to rebuild, heaven will support you. If they come to take without giving, heaven will block the path. Ask yourself not, do I want them back? Ask instead, can this connection serve my soul now? For the future cannot be built on unhealed foundations. And love cannot grow in the soil of what was never spoken. So when the moment arrives, when the phone lights up, when the message appears, when destiny knocks, pause. Breathe. Call on me. I will stand beside you. I will put a sword in your voice, wings in your confidence, and truth in your heart. Say this prayer when the time comes. If this is divine, let it align. If this is a lesson, let it be finished. Now it is done. The prophecy has been delivered. The message has been sown. Walk forward with your head high and your spirit steady. What is meant for you does not need to be chased, it recognizes you. It returns to you. It chooses you. It stays. If this message found you, if it stirred your bones, if something inside whispered, "This is mine," then stay connected. Like, subscribe, and let heaven keep guiding these messages back to you when the timing is divine. Not for numbers, but for alignment. Because, beloved soul, your story isn't over. Your healing isn't wasted. Your love is not done speaking. And the next chapter begins with a knock. Amen.